Welcome back. Today we are installing a new fuel line in this car. The factory line enters in and goes through the tunnel of the pan. It was put in from the factory when the car was being assembled, the frame was being assembled. So I've seen people change them. It's really involved. Rather than trying to do that, we're going to do the alternative, which a lot of other people do, is to run a new line through the car. We're going to be using nickel copper tubing. It's very flexible, will never rust. It's actually real good for even doing brake tubing replacements. I should have done that with this car and made all custom lines, but this is really a great alternative. I did an old video on it if you wanted to check that out also. The time before, we had drilled a hole down over there, and we're going to run the line along to next to the brake line through the car. Here's where the factory line exits, right next to the transmission. It comes up out of a hole in the pan, and then there's a small piece of rubber hose, and it connects on to the metal piece that crosses over to the front of the, to the fuel pump side of the engine. Here's the line. And the other line is up over there. That line is clean. I flushed that out. We're going to reuse that one. So we need to get a fuel line coming close to this one. So we're actually going to leave the original one there, and I'm going to tie the new line right next to this one. And we're going to sneak it through a hole where the brake line comes through. So I'm not even... the rubber grommet that went on the line fell apart. We're just going to make something, and we're going to use the space in that hole to put the new line in. Might have to enlarge the hole a tiny bit, but I think the line will fit through there, no problem. So let's get started. This coil is 25 feet long, so we got plenty to cut off a large chunk of it. The area where it goes through under the gas pedal is 2 layers, so I have a piece of nylon fuel line that will slip onto this relatively easy, and then we'll seal up the ends with some kind of sealant, silicone or strip caulk. So we'll get a rough fitting for this. You can see how easily this is to work. Don't need any special bending tools, just your bare hands. Let's feed some of this in. Between all this mess of brake lines. More excess pushed in. All right, that's roughly where it's going to sit. We'll play around with it a little bit more. We need to figure out where to make our cut. This is going to be plenty of extra. The question is, I don't want to cut it too short. Let's run it out here first. The original line ends about right there. So if we cut it, probably around here would be plenty. Still have some more to cut off, but we gotta form it around through the car. So we'll be a little generous here. Let's see about there. Now we need to get all of that through that hole. And we're also going to put a little nylon sleeve in there, see if it fits. Might hit that with a file quick. That's better. There's a little bit of burr on it. Shove a little more in the front. Try doing that with a steel line. See where that ended up. All right, back inside. Okay, I hope you can hear me from up there. Now, you just gotta force this line into its new position. Okay, the line is coming through. We have our little piece of black nylon line acting as a cushion for it, and it just follows along the brake line path. This stuff bent very easily. I didn't need a bender. I did it all by hand. Going and sneaking under the gas pedal, we have it running right along here. And then we repurposed the little clips that came with the new brake line kit. Put them right here, clip the line to it. Put a few more in, another one here, another one there. Underneath, we got one more, and we got our piece of nylon line here that's going to act as a grommet in here. Got to play with that, and we got to put a little grommet for the brake line, keep it from rubbing. Okay, we got our insulators in there, and the rest of it will just be siliconed up. Okay, we have a little excess here. We're going to cut it shorter, and that's where the factory line ended. So we're going to cut a little bit off and then attach it to the end of that line. Okay, the rear is all set where it needs to be. The line runs out along with the brake line. I have it pop over, and there is a piece of rubber hose slid onto the line. Let's see if you can see it right there, with a zip tie to keep it from vibrating against the brake terminal right there. Got another piece of rubber on the line, and we have it clamped to the old line, holding it secure, and a new fuel line run to the original line, which is still good. Hope I can show you. Where is that? Up over there. Okay, now we just need to secure the front. We have a little extra here too we got to cut off. I have another piece of rubber slid on over here. So we're going to cut this off right about there. Let's get the tubing cutter and do that right now. Okay, the line's cut back to where we need it. We have it secured with a Tek screw and a conduit clamp and a piece of rubber just to insulate it. So the line's nice and secure. It's not going to rattle around and make any noise. So now next job is replacing what's missing here, the gas tank. That should be arriving very shortly, so tune in next time to see that. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.